Hello, so today I'm joined by my lecturer at university who's been helping me with my final project, Mr. Richard Young. So, this is the second episode of the podcast, and we've even got some visuals for you this time. And today we're going to be talking once again about portfolio careers in the music industry as we did previously. So, Richard, just the first little question just to start us off. So, when did you know you wanted to become a musician? Was it something you did when you were younger? Was it something that maybe you grew into as you got older?
I was always surrounded by music. My dad was the head of a music course at A level, where we used to live over near Burnley, and we were just always surrounded by it. Me and my brother, um, and then he used to just bring stuff back from work. So he'd ask us what we wanted to bring back, and sometimes he'd bring trumpet or violin back, and just have a bit of a mess around, see if anything stuck. Um, and then yeah, it just kind of developed from there. I did music at school, did music at A level, and then just carried on from there. It's kind of natural sort of thing, really. Not much, to be honest, not much thought went into it. It was just something that kind of happened. It's probably always going to happen.
It was meant to be for you. It was meant to be.
I think so, yeah.
So you obviously spoke about your dad was a musician. So was your dad a professional musician, or was he sort of just like doing it on the side?
Yeah, no, he started off playing. He played cello in like orchestras and things, and then he played piano, double bass. He composed, he conducted. He did a lot of different stuff. Um, and then so he did all that stuff when he was young, and ended up doing a bit more teaching. Probably when he had children, things obviously change when you have kids. And he started. I think he went to work teaching music at a secondary school um, down in Burton. It was, I think, actually. And I know you're from Stoke, and he used to teach in high school in Leek,
Ah,
my neck of the woods. And then we just kind of gradually moved further north. Um, and then when we moved up here, he took on a job. It was at Nelson Cole College, just the other side of Burnley, doing the music A level course there. Which me, my friend, all my friends, my brother, we all went through the same sort of program. We all went from doing it at A level at college, and then kind of all flitted off into different universities.
not really. So the education side of it there as well. So for you, obviously, your dad was a musician. You were growing up in a musical household. So when you become like finishing school, like the ages of 16 for 17, did you want to go into music from there, or was it something again that you know you come into later down the line?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it too much. I did when we did it at school and GCSE and stuff. And then went to do A levels. Yeah, I thought it was just always thought I was always going to do the music at some
Mm.
sort. I never really thought I was going to teach or play. I guess probably I always just thought I'd be playing. Um, and then it got to, after 2 years there, I had to think about universities, and I've not really thought about it much. I ended up going to Birmingham Conservatoire and studied a performance degree there. Um, and I did lots of playing when I was there, lots of playing directly after that for a good few years. And then I just at some point I started doing a bit of teaching as you generally do,
Mm.
and then it kind of materialised. And I've got some teaching at a college, and I did my PGCE with a college, and it's been kind of, I guess, kind of a natural thing, shift between playing and teaching. And obviously, like you've got a freelance sort of portfolio career sort of things. There's always little bits of everything
Yeah,
kicking around. Um, so I still do quite a lot of playing, but obviously the main thing is teaching most of the time.
yeah. So when you finished your degree, obviously you supposed said that you did some playing as well. So was that playing in bands or by yourself?
No, yeah, as a drummer, percussionist, generally speaking.
Ah. You can't quite go in your Phil Collins era, can you?
No, yeah, so it kind of took from there. I did. I was lucky when I was in Birmingham. I started playing a band called, is it John Mayer? Not guitarist John Mayer, the composer John Mayer. John Mayer's Indo Jazz Fusions, which was fusion of jazz and Indian classical music. And through that, I did like quite a lot of recordings. We went to toured South Asia, so Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. I did quite a lot, and that carried on straight when that was towards. It was a 4 year degree I did at Birmingham, and I started doing that probably my third year, and I did third year, fourth year. So I was doing quite a lot of playing while I carried on, directly after Birmingham. So I did that for a few years, quite like gigs. So it was quite good. Again, it was quite a natural. I went from doing my degree and it kind of naturally, quite a smooth, fluid movement into actually, playing more for a living, which was quite useful at that time.
Oh, right, really?
Yeah, and then you kind of just you pick things up word of mouth and reputation, I think, and then so you quite arranging it and stuff.
It must have been helpful then, coming out of university and then being able to go straight into performing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's again, it's not something I'd really, I wouldn't recommend. I don't really planned it at all. Really, it just kind of naturally evolved. Which looking back, thinking if I'd have not had that, I'd have come out. I don't know. I'd have probably gone into teaching a bit sooner.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, it was quite a nice sort of fluent shift into playing straight away after that. Yeah, like you say, it was quite useful. That was. It's something I must have. I got planned. It was purely
Just happened.
fortune. Yeah, really.
Yeah, because when I spoke to Bruce, he spoke about obviously when he started off, he was similar than you, where he finished his degree and went straight back into performing, which seems to be quite popular. And then eventually, obviously, after time as a performer, the lifestyle is quite, it's like it's quite antisocial in terms of you're up late all the time, you're back late, you're on the road, you're playing, like so you were playing abroad, so you're away from family a lot of the time. So did that make teaching more attractive for you in terms of being able to?
Yeah, it was not until I did that and I did. I went from that and did a band called The Earlys, which was half a band based in America. I spent a bit of time over there. Did that for a good few years. And that again, that was going all over Europe and
Mm,
America. And then I came back here and I was doing some bits of teaching, bits of playing, and then my daughter was born, and I carried on playing at that point. And my wife was at home. It was really hard. I was doing a theatre. I stayed over at a theatre tour. We wrote on some theatre show, um, which was obviously better because I was just over in
yeah.
game mainly. But it was like Thursday to Sunday pretty much every week, and it was not really working. And when the second son, my son, I just thought it's just too much. I'm never here. It's not healthy, not working. So that's when I started. I went back and I did my PGCE um, when my daughter was born. So I actually started to use my PGCE. I got some bits of teaching. I live up in Salford, so I started doing some work for the Salford Music Service, and then I started at BIM, and yeah, and then it's kind of yeah, it's
Were you
been
at BIM from the start then, from when it first opened, as you now?
I started about 8 years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago. So now yeah, it's probably 2017, 18,
Yeah.
something like that. I've been here for quite a long time. But along all that time, I've been doing stuff for the music service up in Salford, which is different to me. It's more like I did high schools and primary schools, but visiting teacher stuff. So
Yeah. So you've taught at all levels then, haven't you? Really, if you think about it.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've done. The youngest I teach a school up in Salford. They're all primary school, but to go in reception there, so that's
Wow.
and obviously with secondary school, A level, then up to degree, for like yourself, third year degree. So it's a full spectrum.
So, like right now, do you still teach in them schools now, or is it just full
Yeah,
time
well,
BIM?
yeah. Basically, it's split between BIM and I do basic. It's basic. I'm at BIM 4 days, and the fifth day I do it for the music service.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool then.
Yeah, yeah. So it works out quite well.
So your week would be Monday to Thursday BIM, Friday music service, then weekend off or performing at the weekend or something like that.
Yeah, generally during term time, I try and keep my evenings and weekends as free as possible. But I don't. As a freelancer, I don't close in on particularly regularly. But as we move into the summer, there's less teaching. Right now, I've started to yes, do a few more things
Yeah.
fill that gap. Um, so yeah, I've got quite a busy summer. It turns out with different things, but yeah, I probably do perhaps one a month, so one or two a month, perhaps on the weekend, just to keep my face in there,
Yeah.
like gig wise. But yeah, generally speaking, I try and it's like it ends being late nights and
Yeah.
it all just working week, and the kids are at school, and it just gets quite hard work.
Yeah, I can imagine. So at this moment in time, then, from what you're telling me, so you're teaching this summer, and say coming up, you've got your teaching in terms of the school, which I'd have said if it's summer term, I don't think you'll be in. But Yeah,
that kind.
you got to do all that
And
stuff.
stuff runs all the way through some of it. Essentially by sort of like I say, early June, all that will be done, give or take. Then my stuff for the music service, which I will take a bit on. That's the thing, it's quite flexible, so I can get the teaching as we move into that'll run till July, and then August, the summer holiday, obviously, and I'll play well. I'll do a few more gigs during that time, and then we're back in September, back at the
Yeah,
gig.
that's the start of the year. That's quite good then, because then you've got like a bit of a cycle. It's probably took you like a few months and years of balancing out, thinking right, the teaching's stopping in the summer, so I need to pick up more gigs, and then right, I'm teaching again now, so I can relax to the gigs and stuff and be at home more. So that's like a bit of a routine for you. Because is that like that's what you do? That's your full time living is the teaching and the band stuff. There's nothing else on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And so you've got, like I say, you've got if the teaching slacks off, you can pick up your performing, and if the performing ideally, is not too consistent as you like it, you can keep the teaching stuff going in the day.
Yeah, well, that's it. And it took me a long time to realise that as a freelancer, you're probably against yourself. You feel like you get offered stuff, you have to say yes.
Yeah,
It's kind of a natural thing. And it takes a long time to realise actually I don't have to say yes all the time. As long as I obviously balance it. So if you say no all the time, people think, oh, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's not
hmm.
really working. Whatever. So it's just trying to make that little balance to keep your foot in the door, sort of thing. It's the same with the teaching. It's kind of you get offered stuff or different places, you feel like you need to say yes just because it's something coming in, sort of. Yeah, it's trying to balance that out, I think, and being aware that you can sort of say no, not this time, sort of thing.
Did you find that in your early days when you were starting off like this dual act of teaching and performing? Did you find when you were first getting offered things like, say, you wanted to teach a class in, I don't know, the south of England or a gig at the other end of the country, were you just saying yes without actually thinking of it? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and then just dealing with the logistics.
That's what they say yes first and deal with it after. That's what we do in the band.
Yeah, again, going back to when you have kids, you can't just say yes, you have to think
But you have
about
to
it.
think of that, yeah.
Yeah, kind of go.
So, would you give that advice to someone like myself who might be getting into freelancing after university? Would you say one piece of the advice you would give be don't just say yes to everything, think things through more?
Yeah, to a point. Um, but it is hard, especially if you like, if you've got nothing in concrete and you kind of picking up the bits here and there, there is that sort of need to say yes, perhaps more than no.
Yeah,
But then you have to. The last thing you want to do is let people down. So if you say yes, I want to do this gig, or yes, I do that gig, you got a gig in Ipswich or something, and then you've got to get up to Carlisle, and it's physically impossible. At some point, someone's going to get let down, and it's all about building your reputation, I think, and so you can be counted on to do a good job, or at the very least actually be there and do our job.
yeah. Because I was always told if you let someone down once with a gig or something, it's quite bad news in terms of they might not offer you one again, or they might just spread the word saying, "Oh, this person's a letdown and stuff. They didn't turn up for me."
Small world, and like especially like the creative arts and industry and music and stuff. Everyone's along, especially now everything's on um, social media and
Yeah,
stuff. It's a small world, so it kind of things do. But likewise, if you turn up, do a really good job or do a good job, and you're amiable, you get the work done and stuff. Again, people spread the word. People are happy to spread the word about people being good, so it kind of works both ways.
yeah, I'm with you. I get that. So, would you say that obviously right now with where you're at in your life and stuff, do you think that the teaching route is something like what's next for you? Do you think you'll keep doing what you're doing now and just keep the balancing out to the teaching and every now and then performing, or do you think you'll lean more into less performing, more teaching? Do you think?
Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't really know. Probably, I would imagine more into the teaching just as I get older, and I mean, that's something. I mean, you can always go back and play whenever you want
You're a
to.
young man.
This is it. It's not like well, it's not like you're a footballer. You have to do it all before you're 30 or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
If he hits a drum, it sounds the same if you're 16 or if you're
I
67.
think Burt Bacharach, he was performing till he was 96, wasn't he?
Well, I saw some clips of what's the guy, Frankie Valli, is it?
Yeah, he mimes now. He lip syncs, man. He cheats.
Yeah, he must be giving up anyway. He's got to sit down. That
But
But
yeah,
yeah, I think probably more into like but then again, yeah, it probably works out. The balance I've got right now seems to work pretty well, so there's no sort of need to sort of consider stuff too much. But
Okay. And do you think, in terms of financially, do you think there is a good living to be made in portfolio careers in the music industry? So, for example, I've got a friend of mine who is similar position than you. He's a student, so he's a uni student. He does private tuition, so he's a teacher, but he gives private lessons, as well as plays with the band at the weekend. Do you think there's a good living to be made in the portfolio careers?
Yeah, I think it's probably to work in that sort of freelance sort of creative areas. I think it's probably the most sustainable one. So actually, you can't always count on gigs. You can't really. Teaching's a bit more stable, obviously.
Mm.
But if you're doing bits of this, bits of songwriting as well, so you do bits of songwriting, bits of arranging, bits of teaching, bits of private teaching or some hours in the school or whatever, and then you're playing and stuff in various different settings and different bands or groups or whatever. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, it is. It definitely it is. I think you need to consider that balance now. But you're always going to have. I imagine if yourself, if you're doing these things, you probably would want to be doing more playing right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But that may change. You might do a teaching, you might do a bit more arranging or something, whatever it may be. But that's the thing; it's quite a fluent sort of fluctuating sort of
Yeah. That's the creative industry, isn't it? It's chaos.
exactly, yeah. And you never know what's going to come through your door next day. Could be an offer to go and do this, or a request to do that. It's kind of there's always changes.
So we've covered quite a lot of ground there in terms of talking about what you do when you finish and what you're doing now and how you balance the double. So would you say, what piece of advice would you give to someone like myself or anyone finishing university looking to have a portfolio career with teaching in? So obviously, because your main things are teaching, if they want teaching to be part of their portfolio career as well as the other stuff, what would a main piece of advice you give to someone young looking to get into it?
Well, probably just try and get some sort of experience in some of teaching. Whether it's teaching your mates how to play guitar or
Mm.
drums or whatever. Just try and get a bit of experience. You can get a bit of work experience. You contact your local music service, West Manchester, South, wherever. Um, most of those are more than happy to have people you can go and shadow teach and shadow lessons,
Mm.
get experience that way and build it up that way. And then you don't always necessarily need like a classroom like a PGCE to go and teach, especially with instrument teaching. The music services are great for that because it's kind of you can just do bits of cover. They'll ring you or say, can you cover any of these lessons? And if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But it's more about getting that experience, I think. Like I say, teaching people. Obviously, if you get private tuition, that's a great one as well. But you get that experience where it's like if you have your friends around, just do it like a lesson and build up. Just trying to say this is how we do it, and gaining that confidence in yourself that you can go and do it. Um, but yeah, I would do that. I would just try and get experience wherever it can, whether it's paid experience, whether it's just voluntary experience, and it's as much as believing it in yourself that you're comfortable doing it as
I can imagine as a teacher, you've got to really know what you're doing. Because if you don't believe what you're doing, why are the students going to believe what you're doing?
yeah, yeah. At least you have to have that facade that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
Well, Richard, thank you for answering all my questions on portfolio careers and stuff like that. We definitely covered some interesting grounds, and I'll put some of these things in my research. Now, I'll have to send you a consent form, of course, to post this anywhere online because I do things properly. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in to me and Richard's interview. I hope you enjoyed it.
brilliant.
Look
Thanks,
like Richard. Thank you.
thank